Hey, how's it going? It's Grant with the Garden of Eder, and today we're going to be talking about 30 different crosses. I'm going to do it in the next 60 minutes. Hopefully, I'll knock it out by then. We also were just at the Carolina Aquatic Workshop. We'll be talking about that, and then this weekend is the Southern Aquatic Experience, so we'll be going over that as well. But Shelby will be joining us. So we'll go over some questions and anything that might pop up and be relevant to what I'm talking about. But let's dive right into the crosses. I want to try and keep it under that 1 hour mark. So, of course, we're going to start off with Neocaridina. And before I get started about these, you got to kind of take this one with a grain of salt. Not every time you do these crosses are you going to end up with this result. This is just a possibility of how to make these. I thought it would be appropriate to include some Neocaridina crosses on here. However, 99% of the times when you cross and mix different colors of Neocaridina, you'll end up with wild types. These are some of the crosses that the chances are a little bit better than that. Red cherry crossed with blue velvet is my very first cross. I originally got red cherries and they did really well. My first batch of blue velvets didn't do too well. I threw the last blue velvet that I had remaining with some red cherries, and the first batch of babies I got red rillies. You could also get red rillies with blue bodies out of these. Now, most of these crosses, I'm just going with the standard name for the cross. You could break these off into like red steels and blue steels, black galaxies, red galaxies, and stuff like that. So this is just simple 30 crosses. So that is one way to make red rillies. And we've got Shelby joining us now. My next cross is blue velvet crossed with blue dreams. And this would be how to make blue rillies, not to be confused with carbon rillies. This is the darker royal blue with a light blue body and then royal blue tail again. The carbon rillies can be like that same color, but all of them will be like that, where the carbons are going to be black and blue as well. What are you looking for, dear? It's over there behind the ladder. All right. Then we have blue dreams crossed with blue diamonds. A lot of these are crosses you want to do, but some of them are just crosses what would happen, and then some of them are crosses that you won't want to do. So just a little bit of mixing it up for everything. So this one is blue dreams crossed with blue diamonds. The chocolate gene is kind of dominant, so they end up just pretty much being all blue diamonds, since you do get a mix of black and light blue culls by doing this. Then the grade of the babies that come out of it and how many culls really does depend on the quality of the line. So that is also another way to strengthen up your genetics. If you just have blue dreams and you're not really happy with the quality of them, you want to throw in some blue diamonds that are higher quality. You will get, a better mix of higher percentage of nicer babies, but you do lose the blue dream gene for the most part. It's all going to be the chocolate blue diamond line after you mix them. You got something for me, or?
No, just
All right.
You can take a drink. They're not going to be mad.
Then we've got red cherry crossed with Bloody Marys. Again, the Bloody Mary is a chocolate line, so you're going to end up with Bloody Mary genetics. This is also a good way, though, to take the racing stripe from the red cherry and add it on to some Bloody Marys. Not all Bloody Mary lines have the back line. It's not very common. But if you are a fan of the back line and you want to add it onto some Bloody Marys, you can add some red cherry genetics to achieve that. And then we've got blue diamonds crossed with black rose. And that's a good way to make carbon rillies. If your black rose aren't already throwing carbon rillies, or your blue diamonds, both of those are capable of doing it. But if you've got some pretty pure line, like the blue diamonds could be ocean blues, if that's the case, you're not really going to get any. You can cross them with some black rose and get some carbon rillies, if those are the shrimp line that you're wanting to work with. And then again, any other crosses, off the top of my head, anyways, you're going to end up pretty much getting wilds 99% of the time. But don't let that deter you from trying to cross some like black rose with some yellow 24 carats and trying to make some black and yellow shrimp. Eventually, you'll get some black and yellows. But right now, it's not a thing. And so far, it's only resulted in wild type Neocaridina. It's a little bit of like luck, a little bit of mutation involved in order to achieve that. Then moving on to tiger shrimp. Again, this doesn't cover all of them. I've only got so much time, so I'm thinking about just the basics, the easier ones to achieve without working on too many genetics. Some of them, though, I'll talk about how many generations it is going to take. But my first one that I would start off with is orange eye blue tigers crossed with red tigers. This is a great way to make your own orange eyed red tigers. You could also, select a breed out in different directions because you're going to get different phenotypes from the same cross. You can get normal tigers out of that, where you get like a blue tiger, striped body, blue body, and normal eyes. So like a normal eye blue tiger. And then you could also do orange eye blue tigers with red stripes instead of blue or black stripes. So that is 3 crosses from just the 2 original varieties of shrimp. And then this one is one of my favorites, is the Aurora blue tigers crossed with tangerine tigers to get the green apples. Then you can take that one a step further and cross it with the orange eye blue tigers. I prefer to do the black tiger orange eye, which is just a higher grade of orange eye blue tigers, to make the orange eye green variety as well. And those are both, the green apples and the orange eyes are both very unstable lines. So it could take you many, many generations to achieve that look, many more to get that generation looking good. But if you use like some really high quality Aurora blues, then the green color generally and the first generation looks the best. Nothing for me. It's just all saying hello.
Yeah, I'm behind. She's wide awake, so.
I think I'm moving along
I'm
a little
going
bit further. I was originally going to do 60 shrimp in 60 minutes, but I just didn't have the time today to put all those together. Shelby was also going to get photos of all the shrimp, and she ran out of time to do that. And I was like, don't worry about it. I like the fact that our live streams are, a little bit set up for podcasts, because there's really not much to see behind us except for the one time I did the water change thing. Most of the lives can be listened to at work or something like that. And I do have a lot of people that come to me and tell me they listen. So pictures for them would be pointless. But the reason why we do the live streams like this is because we don't have time to crank out all of these videos and do really nice scripted with pictures every week. We would not be able to get anything else done. We've got so many tanks and now a baby. So these live streams kind of work to get that content out there. You want to say welcome to the new member?
So Jenna P said 30 shrimp crosses in 60 minutes. And Shelby setting a 2-minute timer per shrimp per Grant.
That's kind of why I started talking about the 60 shrimp. I'm looking at it. It's 9 minutes in, and I've already done more than 9 crosses. So
thank you. I can't. Tolstoy 21. I'm hoping I said that right. Thank you so much for becoming a member. When you become a member, you do get a membership discount to our website and a members only TGOE sticker. So please email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com if you want us to send out that sticker and code. Or you could also email us and place an order and then put it in the notes that you would like your sticker thrown in the box.
And all new members will get both stickers. We have a holographic sticker as well as the new TGOE stickers. And then we'll be getting more for Aquashella also.
Yeah.
We got to do that next week. Oh, and also we'll be updating everybody about the hurricane and everything like that. We never really lost power, so there isn't too much to be updated on. The greenhouse got a little bit shredded, but I'll talk more about that later. Back to me.
Yes.
All right, so that'll have it for the tiger shrimp. Again, I can do a couple more tiger crosses, but that's going to be the bulk for it for this one. I see Richard is in the chat. Richard, I got the plumber here at the house to fix the stops on the sink, and the connections to the actual sink were too short. So the sink still isn't hooked up yet, but I'll get that one done not too long.
Yeah, stupid leak. Oh, always something in the garage. It's got a leak right before a trip. So thankfully we were able to turn off the water. We weren't all here. That would have sucked if you had to leave.
And perfect timing on the plumber. Literally said he was going to be here at 10 to 12. I got everything cleaned up and ready at 10. Did all the taxes because I forgot about doing those this month because of all the hurricane things. And then as soon as I got done with the taxes, he was here. So I was like, that's perfect timing. Got it done in an hour. And it was exactly $100 like you said it would be. Gave him a little bit tip because he showed me how to change out the connections on the sink so I could actually install them.
Hagen Hill Design, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says we have a weird shrimp. Is so much larger than our Neos. Could it be a regular Caridina? And also show the baby. I'll show it again. I saw your comment earlier. I'm behind in chat. Wide awake.
So is it possible it's like an Amano shrimp? Or if you just have like mixed Neocaridina, a lot of times the wilds will get a lot bigger. We were just at a shrimp contest in North Carolina, in Raleigh, North Carolina, and one of the entries were some wild type shrimp, and they were massive in size. And I think the judges even mentioned that they would have done a little bit better, but like one of them had changed colors in the clear tank, so they were just slightly off in size and coloration, but they're much larger than the rest of the shrimp that were entered in the contest. Bless you. All right, so moving on to the bee shrimp, crystals crossed with Taiwan bees. That's going to make a Michelin. A Michelin is just a crystal shrimp that is heterozygous for Taiwan bees, so they can throw the Taiwan bees. You cross a Michelin with a Taiwan bee, and then you're going to get a mix of Michelins and more Taiwan bees. So that is two crosses right there. Then you can mix any crystals and any bees in that situation, and you'll just get a good mix of all of them. Yeah, I mean, my yellow shrimp, if you want me to go get it, I think I showed it last week. It's still in the bag. I've been kind of touring it around. I'm really proud of it. It's over like an inch. I would say like an inch and a half. So it's still possible it's a Neocaridina shrimp. The backstripe Davii Neocaridina, they can get a little bit bigger than the rest, especially the blues. The blues are always a little tad bit smaller.
Yeah, we'll be able to probably identify it from a video.
Yeah, that'll help for sure. Yeah, again, it could be an Amano or something like that.
Yeah. And then Meadow said, so you will be at Aquashella. Yes, we will. Yes,
we'll both be scaping. Who knows? Maybe somebody won't show up and the baby will be able to escape a tank. We'll find out. We're working on it lifting rocks and stuff already. So she's getting some muscles. The head is still a little bit rough to try and lift up and look, but she is a great learner. She just sits there and watches. I've taught her so many different types of shrimp and plants already. And Layla's helping me out too, so it's great. But we'll have a booth. We'll be running the shrimp contest, and there's something else at Aquashella I know we're doing in Daytona.
Fluval, escaping.
I mentioned the escape contest already.
Annette, we are going to probably be planning to bring the entire family with us because
and a smash cake.
Our daughter's first
Shelby
birthday.
said this today.
So
we will bring a public smash cake all the way up with us to Pennsylvania.
Bring a tarp too,
unless you can find a good Amish bakery that can make a mean smash cake.
I don't know about that, but that would be funny. But yeah, we'll probably. I mean, oh yeah, we'd have to bring Publix all the way up. That's crazy. There's no Publixes out of Florida.
Right.
Forget about that. But yes, they will. I was talking about it. Normally, we would celebrate it early or later, but then I was like, the fish fam is really our family. A lot of them got us stuff for the baby, and I just thought it would be perfect to celebrate with the family that we have made over the years. So, and I think it'd be cute to have a little smash cake for her, and I think babies don't care about the first birthday anyways. So,
And maybe I'll hide some funny money in one of the other like cakes.
she's just chewing on it, and someone just tries to rip it out. That's my $100.
I almost died, but now I got $100 to spend at the booth. I'll take it.
What flavor ice cream does she prefer? We will not know that.
Right now, it's
right before
breast.
then. That was not something to say. Oh, great. We're going to have to end this stream and start a new one. So, tell a story. What crosses originally created Fancy Tigers? Or is this in the first 10 minutes and I missed it?
Fancy Tigers is like 2 crosses away. So, I don't want to jump out of order, but if you just give me one more cross, I'll get there.
So funny thing is, obviously he's really good with genetics, and I'm still learning. I constantly ask him because there's so many shrimp, so many crosses that sorry, Scuba's comment just threw me off. And the Fancy Tigers were something that I still did not remember. So. But next cross so you can get to this comment.
All right. So pure red line crossed with pure black line or another variety of crystal shrimp. This is going to end up in just having regular old crystal shrimp. So this is kind of one of those crosses that I was like, you kind of don't want to do unless you're looking for a variety colony, or you have to condense down to one colony. You want to avoid crossing your pure line of crystals with other crystal shrimp. Otherwise, it just reverts back to normal crystals, run of the mill. Fun fact though, Tim Crypt Keeper, if you're watching, I did place first place and beat Shelby with her Snow White, pure white lines with your crystal black colony.
Yeah,
so they were actually throwing out some really nice Mizuras. I got some really nice big solid ones, and yeah, got her.
That's another time they've lost. I'm really disappointed. Just gonna have to work harder on it.
But she beat me with my blue bolts. My blue bolts were big, blue, and beautiful. And dang it, Shadow Pandas. I told her to go pick any Taiwan bees in the house because I really haven't worked on them for 2 years, and they were equally all of ours. And she did it.
Mm-hmm. It was easy.
All right.
When No Liquor said, hi, TJOE, question. In the scape contest, do you have to do a natural scape, or could you enter a good themed tank?
You could enter a themed tank, but it depends on the rules of the contest. Most of the contests want a natural aquascape, and a theme isn't really going to get you any extra points or anything like that. However, like Aquashellas right after Halloween, if you did like a really dark and gloomy style theme tank, would be really cool. But if you're gonna put like Batman kind of chilling in the back of a cave with like a little light lighting him up behind him, you might get like most creative or something like that. But you're not gonna get the win if somebody does a really nice natural aquascape.
Yeah. I would love to have like a cool themed contest one year, but
it's called the Florida State Fair novelty category.
But not everyone lives in Florida.
No, not
so
everybody
it'd be cool
lives
to
in
do
Florida.
like online contests. That's what we should hold like once a year. That'd be fun. But back to the cross.
All right, now the one everybody's been waiting for: how to make Fancy Tigers. Well, you want to start off with orange-eyed blue tigers or any Caridina Marie. So the red tigers, you can do the orange-eyed red tigers or one of those varieties as well, and then cross it with another crystal shrimp. And then these are going to give you Thai bees. Thai bee is just a tiger crossed with a bee shrimp, but this specific genes of the Caridina marie and crystals only is what you need to make your own fancy tigers. Now, many people cheated, added Taiwan bees to thicken up the pattern and the solid of the pigments and stuff like that, but that should be legit the standard for what a fancy tiger is made out of, because you get the Thai bee and then from there you breed out the translucent gaps and you get a fancy tiger from there. I'm sorry.
You're struggling.
I am.
See, I thought you would be able to talk about these a little bit longer. It would have been 30 crosses in 30 minutes.
I'm talking fast. I'm doing this way too quick. But we've got other things to talk about. But I just think that I haven't talked about genetics for a while, so it was a good topic. All right, now we got tangerine tigers crossed with Taiwan bees, and then like 10 generations later, you can make your own yellow King Kongs. So that one was kind of ridiculous, but I decided to just throw that one in there. I am going to come back to that cross for Ti-tai bees, but right now we're sticking to Thai bees.
What are recommended parameters for Galaxy Pinto Springs?
So less than 6.2 pH is ideal. 6 pH is okay. 5 pH might be a little bit better for most Taiwan bees and Ti-tai bees. But you want like at least a general hardness of 5. We do 6 general hardness here with a TDS of 150 to 160. And then we don't do any carbonate hardness in the water. And then the temperature is around 70 to 72. I find these ideal for us. There's other breeders that do it in lower TDS. There's some that do it at higher TDS. But for us across the board, these have been working really well. Shelby's Galaxy Pintos are booming. The Galaxy Pintos we've gotten from Steven and Daryl, as well as who did I just get Galaxy Pintos from? Jacob Waters. They're all doing really well in these parameters now. I've gotten some of the colonies didn't maybe thrive the best, or as well as they did in Plamsky's tanks or Stevens or Daryl's, but right down the middle of the road, I'm meeting the demand. I'm really happy with the breeding we have in those parameters.
Yeah, the higher the parameters, I think one of our tanks is exhausted in Jaden's room, which is like the oldest tank, and it kind of died off with all that with my original Pinto tank, and then now it's not doing well, and it's nothing.
You can tell it's the oldest because it's got blackbeard algae too. Yeah. So
and like the plants are thriving, they're doing great, but the pH must have it's been slowly climbing. So I would say the lower is definitely the best for that.
And then also, Shelby's room should be getting done here after the show this weekend. Definitely want to try and get it all cycled and ready before Aquashella Daytona. And then if we can, I'm going through the house and I'm going to be like all the tanks that are old and I needed to start revamping and what is the word? Resetting tanks. I've never done resetting tanks, but yeah, I think it is time because I've got a lot more Taiwan bees and Ti-tai bees that I'm trying to breed and work on and crystal shrimp than tiger shrimp these days. So yes, we got the salty shrimp buckets in literally the day after you left the house.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was on the porch. I'm like, seriously, you couldn't come one day before?
Yeah. So if you need me to ship them to you, I can do that. Or if you're planning on going to Daytona, I can bring them there. I don't think you're going to be happy with Daytona. I don't think they're going to have the YouTuber side of things back to where it's at. I talked with Chattanooga Ed at the Clash, and if he didn't know anything then, there's definitely nothing set in stone. So if you want me to ship them, I'll ship them. All right, back to me. All right. Then we got tangerine tigers crossed with any kind of bee shrimp. Doesn't matter what kind. You're going to end up with tang tai. Aurora blues crossed with any kind of bee shrimp, and you're going to end up with Aurora Thai. And then you've got yellow King Kongs crossed with orange-eyed blue tigers, and then you can get orange-eyed yellow King Kongs out of those. You can get other orange-eyed varieties as well, but I was trying to keep this short and sweet so I could keep it under an hour, but I'm killing that. So you off of that cross, you could also make like orange-eyed tangerine tigers, green tigers. Um, there's a lot of different things you can do eventually with just those two. You can make some pretty cool orange-eyed, uh, blue, and yellow shrimp eventually if you select a bred amount and crossbred back and forth.
Tank Girl said, "What are you all bringing to Aquashella?"
So we'll have a lot of different potted plants. Really want to support our local nurseries. How did I not make the order today? How did I not make the? Oh, that's what it was. So yeah, we'll have a lot of plants from our local nursery that just got hit by the hurricane. I want to try and support them as much as possible. Um, Maybe I'll make an order still for the show this weekend, but I probably won't be bringing any more plants in from Taiwan unless it's like I can't get any of this from the nurseries here in Florida. But we'll have a mix of swords, Anubis, crypts, foregrounds, floaters, a ton of mosses. I'll bring probably 100 cups of moss. And then we'll have all of our varieties of Neocaridina. Probably no culls though, just all solid medium to high grade. And then we'll have our tiger shrimp that's in stock, minus probably the cheetahs. If we'll have time, we'll bring some cheetahs, but usually we run out of time before we can catch any of those. And then we'll have some easy crystal shrimp, some blue bolts, maybe some galaxy pinto, some calcios. But that's probably going to be it for Aquashella. The Bloomfields will be with us, and they'll have their dry goods, all the Shrimp Envy line. Then that's going to be it. If you want something though, and I didn't name it, we can bring it for you. Just let us know, like the Tuesday before Aquashella. That way we can get it packed up before we head out.
Have a good night, Hagen Hill. Bye.
All right. Now we've got the Ti-tai bees, starting off with back to the tangerine tigers crossed with Taiwan bees. This is also a great way to make the easiest Ti-tai bee of them all, and these are the steels, red or blue steel. Red is a little bit more dominant and comes out a lot more, so those are tend to pop out first. But it is definitely possible to make the blue steels from those as well. And those are easy to separate out and breed those out to be true. So definitely recommend breeding those two lines together if you're looking for a fast Ti-tai bee to get started with. You can eventually, though, break those off to make all different kinds of galaxy pintos, Nanashi, skunks with the backlines, boas, pythons. All of the Ti-tai bees, except for the German pintos, can be basically off of those. German pinto is going to be like a orange eye blue tiger crossed with Taiwan bee, just the not Caridina serrata shrimp. You can use super tigers, or you can use the Caridina marie tigers as well, and these would make the German style pintos. But tangerine tigers with Taiwan bee makes just about all of the other Ti-tai bees so far that are on the market. And maybe you can cross in some like cheetahs or some other shrimp into that to get some of the other colors that come out. But honestly, with selective breeding, you can make the pinks, the metallics, the purples, all of the different colors of the galaxy pintos with just those two varieties of shrimp. She's waking up, huh?
She's been okay.
Oh.
She keeps one eye open.
But then with the orange-eyed blue tigers with the Taiwan bees, you could also make orange-eyed red devils, the black devils, orange-eyed blue steels, orange-eyed red steels. A lot of different varieties of orange eyes could come out of those. You can eventually make some pintos out of those two. It's going to take a lot of crossbreeding back and forth and the recessive genes. So that is over 30 crosses now, because I added in a few because I knew we would have a little bit extra time. So eventually one day I'll get my act together and I'll piece together 60 crosses in 60 minutes. I also want to do like 60 tips in 60 minutes also. So I just got to get the notes jotted down and work on those, and we can eventually do a live stream on that. So nothing else. This is all right. So if anybody's got any issues with tanks, have a question with any of the genetics or anything like that, now is your time. I'd like to talk about our recent hurricane, though, that just went through. It pretty much just avoided where we're at in Florida. If you look at the hurricane, it kind of just dips down right below Tampa before it kind of curves back up and goes east up the state. So we definitely got lucky. The maximum winds we got in our area was only 60 to 80 miles an hour. So very similar to the hurricane that caused us to have the baby a day early, but it was like slightly stronger, I would say. Maybe the backyard kind of got like a thrashing from Helene, and it kind of gave everything a good weakening for Milton to come through and kind of rip things apart a little bit easier. Or Milton was just a little bit stronger. So we never lost power. However, my grandparents did, and usually he loses power, or I lose power, and he never has lost power. All of my years of being an adult, anyways, and worrying about the lights being on. So it was a little weird. All the people that lost power, except for us. The backyard was the only real significant damage. All of the shade sails that we have pretty much got ripped out one way or another. A lot of tears. Most of them don't need to be replaced right away. I can probably staple some of the ones that are going over the tiki bar and get those to work for another year or two without having to replace those. But the ones that went over the greenhouse, they kind of just got peeled back like a banana peel. I was able to kind of untwirl them and stretch them back over the greenhouse. The plastic of the greenhouse itself got ripped in several different new locations. It was already kind of ripped in one spot, but that spot got ripped even worse. So I was able to piece together the greenhouse so none of the dragonflies would get into it. It's over 10 years plastic, so I think it's almost 20 years old now. And any storm that is significant, big or small, could be the last day for that greenhouse. So it still lives another day. It kind of sucks because Richard put on a brand new door to it, and I put a water system in it. So I really hope this next storm kind of stays away from us and doesn't like do the final punch into the greenhouse. So we got lucky, at least in my eyes, because we never lost power. So I didn't really have any issues here. Shelby, anything to say about the storm? I'm doing a lot of talking
it was
tonight.
definitely aggressive. We did get hit with high winds. That was for sure. The house was making a lot of weird noises. It's an older house, so it scared me a little. I think that if there was a Category 5 coming towards us again, I think I would leave. I think our house will still be standing, but I'm a little nervous after that last one. It was only a Category 3, and our house was definitely breathing a little bit. So our roof's good.
I think it's breathing because of the doggy door,
and
it's just going to happen with the amount of wind that was coming in through the back of our house.
Like
I opened up the door into the front yard, and I try to like peek out, and a big gust of wind would hit me right in the face and a lot of cold water, and then I'd wait for it, and I'd try to like time it out perfectly, and I can never just get it right every time. Even the kids ended up getting blasted by the wind. So we got lucky at least. There's a lot of people in the area without power still. Um, Gas is kind of crazy. There's still no gas in our gas stations. I was worried leaving to North Carolina because I was curious if there was even going to be gas for us when we left the state. So I was lucky enough. I got friends who live around the range of where our car was able to take us, and they're like, "No, there's gas here," so I felt comfortable enough with us leaving.
Malcolm said, hoping to get my first Caridina tank set up by the week's end.
Oh, nice. So you'll be ready for some Caridina shrimp next month for our Black Friday sales. Then that's all I heard.
New local Austin said, love it. Glad things are okay.
Yeah. Definitely things were a little bit chaotic. We also, the morning before the hurricane started, our neighbor decided to light off a bunch of fireworks. I yelled out, "Hey, some of us are trying to sleep still." And then he yelled out, "Sorry." And I was like, "All right, cool. This is over with. I can go back to sleep." Then he decides to light off a bunch more fireworks. Well, somebody else was lighting off the fireworks while he was standing in our front of the house, and it's just not something that I wanted to have to deal with in the morning, and not something that I wanted to leave Shelby with, and leave them behind while I went up to North Carolina with the kids, or with Layla. I'm sorry. So I decided to take Shelby with us. We'll see how things pan out the rest of the week. Their kids go to our kids' bus stop, so as long as there isn't any issues at the bus stop, I'll be going to the South Carolina show. Shelby's also better well protected now than we would have been last week, so it's not as big of a concern. We did have to call the cops, and the cops assured us that he is aware now that it is against the law to be doing that. He thought that I was just privileged, and who am I to tell him that he can't have fun with his kids by letting them light off fireworks in the morning? And it's been like an ongoing thing. And poor little Thea is sound sensitive. Anytime somebody lights off fireworks or it thunders, she shakes, she shivers and quivers, and it's not fun for her. So I thought I'd kindly explain that to the guy, and know his kids playing with explosives is a lot more important to him. And all the neighbors were making an appearance, and he made a scene. So hopefully he understands now that a lot more people than just me are upset with him for what he has been doing for like a year and a half now.
Mike said Gulfview Mall starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow will be doing 10-gallon free gas. That's pretty cool. That's wonderful.
I've got to catch up on packages. That's another thing I want to talk about. If you're, yeah, if you guys are watching and you've placed an order with us and we have not shipped out, we didn't do a hurricane sale for a reason for this last hurricane, because there was no way we were able to get the orders out. In the past hurricanes, the storm hits like Thursday or Friday, and we can get all the shrimp out on Monday or Tuesday, or even Wednesday. With this hurricane, they shut all the airports down on Tuesday, and we knew this because Shelby's mom, her flight got canceled. So we didn't feel like it was safe to send out any of the shrimp this week. I'm sorry, last week. And then today was a holiday, so the post office was closed. So anybody's orders who have been pending for over a week now, especially, we'll be throwing in extra goodies for you. But anybody's orders that go through even tonight, we have some sample packs, thanks to the Keystone Clash and Grant, especially at Crayfish Empire. Made a bunch of sample packs for the Clash. And then we bought whatever didn't sell at the Clash, and we got a bunch of free samples. And I'm like, these are perfect. There's calcium chips, there's snail food, there's some shrimp sticks. So it's a nice little package for those that are being patient with us. Everybody that messaged us really understood. So thank you guys, and yeah, we'll make that right tomorrow.
Meadow said, so glad to hear you came through. Okay, my roof got tore up from the first one, and then the gutter the second one. Oh, that's awful. Well, at least it was just the gutter for the second one, but the roof's always the worst. So we're lucky we have the roof we have. It's a metal roof, so they don't really get messed up as much in the hurricane strap. So well, hopefully you get all that taken care of and it wasn't too much damage.
Yeah, I think a hurricane category 5 heading straight at us, we would definitely get out of there.
And Tank Girl said, I know you like the Java moss for shrimp. What other plants do you recommend?
So any moss, Java ferns, Anubias, Boos, these are all great ones because they don't have to be planted in the substrate. If you want to use any other plants and there's not already shrimp in the tank, you could really use any of the plants. All of them are good. All of them are going to add surface area. I would avoid massively large crypts that send a lot of runners like Spiralis. Even the Retrospiralis in this top right tank, you can't really you can't see it. It's kind of like a jungle in there. Jungle Val and Dwarf Sagittaria and stuff like that are ones I would probably avoid, just because they simply can like choke out the tank and you won't have a lot of viewing room for your shrimp.
I like Java ferns.
Eros are great
anything
too
that
for that.
Can epiphytes.
Bobitis. How did I not name Bobitis?
Right. Anything that can go on like a piece of wood, those are wonderful. Adds more dimension to your tank, more spots for them babies. So any Java ferns, Bobitis, those just can be shoved into like little crevices of like driftwood. So those are my favorite. I enjoy them.
I just grabbed my phone to message Jesse, and I was like, dude, I've got your shirt on, and you're not even going to watch the live stream. So you saved yourself. I just saw you as soon as I grabbed my phone.
TA said that my Tampa-ish neighborhood really came together post Melvin, and I didn't have power for 3 days, so the shipping delay was a blessing. Oh yeah, 3 days. That's brutal. I can't believe how many people are out of power. But then, like, even driving up north, like we went west and then north because that's the way you go, and almost like everybody's
east and then north.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
That's I said that, you know. I even pointed that way. West. Okay. But all the power lines were really messed up, like almost all the way out. And it's crazy to see that across the state. Like the storm never lost its oomph across the state. So it was a lot of people without power, and the gas is pretty much almost out, almost all the way up to Florida. Like Jacksonville was like the first where it's still a struggle to get it, and then
yeah, you pretty much got to drive 2 hours north of where we live to get guaranteed gas without a line.
Yeah, and that's
still yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that was last night. Maybe during the day it's all gone. I don't know.
Tolstoy said, if I had 10,000 years to do nothing but selectively breed orange lilies, would they still throw foals?
I want to say no. I want to say after 10 generations of breeding really, you should really cut down on the amount of culls.
Still feel like you get them.
Oh, man, I do too.
Feel like there's always going to be one. Oh. You're always going to be like,
I'll be honest. I don't know anybody that's been able to like focus on them that much and that strictly, but maybe you could. If that was your whole life mission.
That would be funny.
And then, are you guys seeing all the videos that are out of my new automated water change system?
No. Richard said, I lost my roof in Ian. It held this time. Oh, thankfully. Yeah, Ian was a rough storm, that's for sure. Tolstoy said, I find Java ferns with massive shaggy tangles of roots work well for shrimp babies. Yes. Jesse said he saw that. He's rocking it. Thanks for rocking it.
I like the Gar on the back. I didn't even really look at it until I put it on. I don't have any Gar shirts, but I've got a video of me catching a Gar barehanded out of the Everglades. So
Ridiculous. They
I
stink.
like Gars.
Gars are terribly
Yeah, they
slimy
smell.
and stinky.
They do smell.
Ugh.
So my new automated water change system
Oh.
made an appearance. There's a lot of videos out there. Only $20,000-$30,000, but if you think about all the tanks we're going to set up in the future, that's cheap. That's cheap, Shelby. And then
I don't approve of these robots. Everyone in the family wants one, but I'm telling you, they're going to take over the world. They're just going to start slowly poisoning people and killing. Like, I think they're just going to be so intelligent. They're just going to slowly kill people. You won't even notice it's happening. It's not going to be like iRobot where you notice, like, they're all turning bad and it's, like, terrible. Like, no, they're smarter. They're going to get away with it. And then they're just going to be the only thing that rules the earth. Like,
that's why I'm going to be nice to my robot. My robot's going to be
doesn't matter how nice you are. It doesn't matter how nice you are. It's going to take over. I don't. No. Thank goodness for cooler temps. Yeah, it was a little bit cooler out in Florida, so that was a little nice. But down south, they're probably still struggling how hot it is. Like here, it was a little bit nice, but I just couldn't imagine down south dealing with that. Geek Boy says, I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. No.
Geek Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows this technology. If anybody's going to be on my side, someone that does his research.
Jesse says those are his personal Gars. New Local Austin says, new overlord, same as the old overlord.
I like the question where somebody says, what's the hardest thing about being a robot? And he goes, trying to be as human-like as you.
And Tolstoy said, I sure hope our robot overlords are more like Wally. That would be nice, but I don't know. They scare me a little bit.
But we left and headed up to the show on Thursday. No, when did we leave? Early Friday morning. No, in the middle of the day Friday. We got there late on Friday. What am I talking about? We woke up Friday and we caught our shrimp entries for the contest and then headed to the show. So we didn't get there until about 11 o'clock. But the drive up there was kind of crazy. Lots of linemen heading south. A lot of other people funneling back south trying to get to their homes that evacuated. So yeah, that's what I think about is when we evacuate, getting home is going to take us like 2 days. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just go to a really nice hotel nearby.
It's pretty rare that a Category 5 is going to hit this area, so it's going to be pretty rare that we have to evacuate, and I'm hoping we'll just be prepared for that time. Nathan said, I don't have that moss people send with shrimp. Would a little bit of floating water Sprite do okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't like the fact that it's still going to send out, like, the roots are just crazy in my water Sprite tank. I hate it. So eventually it might send in some roots into the substrate, and then you're going to like try to pull some out of it and get rid of it because it chokes it out, and you might mess up and get a bacterial infection. That's why we use the moss, is because it doesn't root, it doesn't send any runners into the substrate whatsoever.
But you're not talking about shipping shrimp and putting in water Sprite for them to hold on to. That would be a different question. I'm just making sure that's not the question.
Yeah, that would just be some mesh little dollar loofah from the dollar store.
I see Catahoulous has a great point. With the salt in Florida air, the robot's lifespan will be limited until they start fixing themselves. Yeah, the humidity in our area for sure we'd have to have a really good AC dehumidifier in the warehouse for it. And I really would just put it on duty of scraping the tanks, honestly.
Scrape, drain, and fill the tanks
while
we're sleeping.
Yeah, I guess the automatic. Nathan said mesh. Oops, no, for shipping, Grant. So We do not usually recommend plants for shipping because when you put them in dark spaces, they tend to suck oxygen out of the water a little bit. Now, it's not dramatic, obviously, especially shrimp don't need as much oxygen as like fish, but it could be an issue. So that's why we use the mesh. If you don't have the mesh, some people use like a little tiny sponge. But yeah, your best bet is to just not put anything in there. Like, they're fine. They're fine.
No.
They don't.
You definitely want to put, they'll hold on to the weakest one. You're almost guaranteed, if you don't put mesh in there, you're almost guaranteed that the shrimp, the shrimp are going to hold on to the weakest link, and it'll become a link.
Bit of spray.
Yeah, I mean,
might be good.
Some roots would be better than the whole plant.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kelly, for the $9.99 super chat. Says diaper fun. Yeah. We appreciate that a lot. Man, I don't remember the babies going through so much diapers till you have another baby and you're like, where'd all the diapers go? Like, that was a big box. Thank you so much.
I think out of everyone at the Clash, Kelly might have missed you the most.
Aww.
She definitely made it the most apparent. And yeah. It was nice seeing you.
I'll be there next year. We'll have some fun. I missed it very much. I'm still really salty about it and hate him bringing it up at all. I'm like, please just let's erase this. And he's leaving this weekend without me. And it's another one where there's a bunch of my friends and everything. So I'm a little upset everyone's going to be missing.
Well, I would have brought you this weekend if I didn't already promise.
I know he made plans and they're not for me. It's like planning a boys trip and then your whole family wants to tag along.
It's not even a boys' trip. I just committed to paying
I'm doing it the whole
for
time.
part of somebody else's travel expenses.
Boys' trip. Brian's gonna kill me if I say that. It'd be so funny though. Robert said, I lost all but 2 female red fancies, so think of putting a male Missouri wine red or a black Galaxy snowflake. What could I get out of them, and which way would you suggest?
So if you crossed in, I look at it here. If you crossed in the male Missouri wine, you can get Nanashi or Galaxy Tigers. Oh, no, they wouldn't be Galaxy Tigers because they don't have, but they would be Nanashi or Nanansi. And then if you crossed in the Black Galaxies, you can get the Black Galaxy Tigers. But then you could also eventually get Snowfall from those, but that would be a mutation and a lot harder of a cross. I would probably do the male Missouri red wine because chances are your fancy red tigers already have Taiwan bee genetics. All mine do, except for the ones that I'm trying to make from scratch.
Wouldn't that take away their patterning? Make it harder?
I mean, it will, but it's already there to make the thicker shell.
Kelly said I did miss some shell. I missed all of it too. And then that was it.
What's that?
There
Is
was
it?
something else.
Oh, I'm still talking about the drive up. Oh,
no.
You're talking about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I'm talking about the drive up. There was a ton of traffic. We were able to get gas. We still waited. It was kind of worrisome. We still kind of all right, there's a super long line there. There's a super long line there. Okay, there's only 3 cars in line here. Let's go there. And then that pump didn't work. And then the next pump the guy took forever. And he's like, oh, I lost my patience. And then once he's gotten gas, he took his sweet old time hitting the road and getting out of there. And I was like,
just sat there. We're like,
ooh. And I even tried to help him. He was fumbling, trying to get his thing open.
I can't believe someone uses a key for their gas tank still. That's a thing. I'm like, what?
So he didn't slow us up too bad. Of course, their bathroom was out of service. We had to go all the way across the street and use their bathroom. And it's for paying customers only. I didn't buy gas there, and I've got honor, so I bought some candy. And then we hit the road, and then from there on, getting gas was a breeze. But we then noticed that there was like no lines. What are you laughing at?
Geek saying that he's so glad you helped him get his thing open. You just said thing.
I tried to
Gas
help him.
can.
He didn't let me.
Gas can. What are they?
The gas
called on
cap.
the car? The gas thingy.
I tried to hold.
Where the gas goes in.
I'm not making the situation any better.
Grant, we have to write bios for the aquascaping for us, and that's the reason we've been taking so long. We took headshots, which also took so long because we're going through, the newborn stage. So both of us are not looking so fresh. And Grant decided to write his bio today and lets me know that it's the Grant, the Garden of Eater. He liked rock. He then smashed rock. He then put rock back together. He likes rock.
No, rock is better.
Rock is better. I thought it was perfect. It's simple. It's really good. I wish I knew if my picture was going to be right next to his so I could just put ditto. So I don't have to write a single thing about myself. I hate writing bios. They're the worst.
No, her bio should be, I take Grant's broken rocks when he's not looking and I build a better hardscape with them.
That one's good. Nathan said, was going to write on Facebook, but maybe it'll help someone else. What about adding a little strip of carbon filter pad or a sim of Cambodia? I said Cambodia. It's Cambodia.
I wouldn't use a carbon filter pad. I would stray away from that. A stem of Cambodia.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess stem would be
Kambamba
fine.
would be great.
It's that. I don't know how to say. I don't know why I think of Cambodia when I say that, but I watched too much.
You got me all messed up. I don't know. Winston literally just asked me if I had read Kambamba, and it's probably not even Kambamba. It's probably something totally different. And now you've got me all messed up with Cambodia.
Robert, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says thank you.
You're welcome. I had to see what his thing was. I didn't know if it was salmon. Like he's just playing off his last name, but it looks like red release. What candy did I get? I got some sour watermelons for Shelby, and the kids got some sour candy for themselves.
I left those in the car still. We live in a hot state. It's not good to leave candy in the car, and it's been cooler out, thankfully, from the hurricane, but I wait another day. Those candies are melting to the car.
I can't remember what sour things Jaden got.
We got the sour mango and then the sour watermelon strips.
No, that was from Buc-ee's. That was not from the gas station that I went to. They got the tropical sour Mike's things. They're not Mike's. I don't know what they are.
Mike and Ike's.
I don't know what that. No, those aren't those.
No,
Mike and Ike's are like
hollow straws.
Yeah,
That's what they got.
Maybe, I don't know.
So
and then I don't remember what Jaden got. The sour. Yeah, just normal. No, that was from Buc-ee's.
Yeah, sour gummies.
Yeah, I don't remember what he got.
I don't remember getting anything.
He engulfed it. Never saw it.
Nathan said, awesome, thanks for the help. I appreciate y'all. Just first timers, so just want to do the best I can. Geek. I actually hate sour candy. I'm the one that really doesn't like it, but like the watermelon ones are so sweet that they don't really taste like sour. They taste like they're kind of coated in sugar instead. But like I try like every one of their sour candies, and within one of them I'm going, this is disgusting. This is vile. How do you guys eat that? And all three of them just eat them up and just like love them. I'm hoping this one doesn't like sour, so I have someone on my team.
The best and the most sourest candy that I found that's actually like consumable and doesn't taste like you're eating like chemicals or whatever is the mango sour strips from Buc-ee's. They are super incredibly sour, and they actually taste like mango like behind it, so it's really good.
Yeah, they're just vile, honestly. I don't know how I can deal with that.
But we got to the expo at 11 o'clock, and wasn't time to set up or anything like that. We got up to the room. We got to sleep. It is really easy for me to fall asleep in hotel rooms now compared to like a couple of years ago when we first started doing all these trips.
Yeah.
I did not, however, prepare for Layla kicking me in the back all night. So
That was so funny.
yeah, a little battle there, but still got some good sleep. Woke up in the morning, got the booth set up. We were right next to Shrimp Envy. There was a couple people there from the Clash. Paul Sotero was not at the Clash, but he was at that event, so I got to hang out and talk with him for a little bit. Night Owl Aquatics made an appearance, showed up for a little bit. I'm trying to think, is there any other fish YouTube people that were there?
JD Aquatics is a YouTuber.
Does he ever comment in here?
No.
No. Well,
He's never
he-
watching, but
he
I'm
gave-
pretty sure he's in the YouTube family.
gave me some gold rice fish, which those were really nice, and then traded some shrimp for some daisy rice fish, and then traded some shrimp for some turbis tumblers for Layla and Shelby that are engraved with some jellyfish. The
They're
kids
really
got
cool.
some nice crochet stuffed animals that were homemade by one of the vendors.
Is that
and,
same girl the one that was winning shrimp in the shrimp contest? That
It-
made the engraving?
Oh, maybe.
I think it is.
I don't
I think
remember.
it's the same person that they
Maybe.
did won some of the in the
I think so.
shrimp contest. It was really cool.
And then we actually did better than I expected. We did better for the one-day show than we did on Friday at the Clash, and I wasn't expecting that at all. Clash on Friday, any Friday show is just slow, but we didn't compare at all to Saturday. But for a little tiny event like it was, they really made it worth our trip. Me and Shelby were looking at the line on the way up there and going, if we make like more than $800, maybe we stay an extra day and go enjoy the aquarium or something like that, because we didn't want to get stuck in all that traffic trying to funnel back into Florida. So we went to go check out though on Saturday morning, and the lady at the hotel was like, "Oh no, you've got another night," and I was like, I told them only Friday night. They asked me one night. So I don't think this is all right. I went to talk to Richard, who invited me out to the event. And Richard's like, oh, well, if you want it, you can have it. Da 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 da. And because of all the traffic, I was like, you know what? We might as well take it and enjoy and do a little bit more, because they had the banquet with all the shrimp awards, and we weren't even planning on doing that. We were just going to drive home after the vendor room was closed down. So we took them up on the extra hotel there. We did the banquet because we already kind of found out who won the best of show. They didn't know whose shrimp it was, but when you enter those shrimp in, you kind of know whose shrimp is going to win. How long are you going to be? You grabbing the awards? Oh, okay. So the banquet was really nice. They did the shrimp awards after everybody ate food. We brought 4 groups of shrimp for each of us. The first category that we entered in was the crystal shrimp. That's the crystal black shrimp that I beat Shelby with. So I got first and she got second. But then in Taiwan Bees, she beat me with her shadow pandas, and I got second with my blue bolts. And then the tiger category, Shelby got second with tangerine tigers, and I got first with my orange-eyed black tigers. And then the real show winners, Shelby got second place with her Galaxy Pintos, and then I got first place and best of show overall with my orange-eyed blue steels. When Richard first reached out to me, they wanted to keep the club and the contest kind of local, but then they were lacking shrimp in the Caridina categories, and he wanted to kind of put some shrimp on display. So I wanted to bring a shrimp that nobody had ever really seen before, and I was gambling on the orange eye blue steels being something rare that nobody had seen. They had really nice, deep, vibrant orange eyes, not like the common orange eye blue tigers. These are like a whole nother level, a whole nother shade of orange. So really happy with the results of the contest. They had plenty of Neocaridina entries, so I didn't enter any of those, but there was some really nice reds and some really nice oranges that were entered in the contest there. The contest was judged by the Bloomfields, so we got to hang out with Rob and Ree. Really enjoy having dinner with them at the banquet. And then afterwards, Chris' team did a discus talk. And then my whole purpose for being there, besides vending, they were looking for vendors, especially shrimp vendors, since the Bloomfields aren't really ready to sell any shrimp yet. So Rob isn't really quite comfortable with public speaking, and there wasn't going to be a shrimp talk. So I offered to do my shrimp talk, and that went really well. That one was updated. When Shelby went to update all my talks for the class, she went ahead and updated my shrimp talk first. And then I was like, well, thanks for doing that. You got my talk ready for next weekend. However, for the clash, I want my shrimp talk to have old, unupdated photos or outdated photos. And then the powerhouse talk to have all the updated photos. So that way, if you went to both talks, you saw like a before and after as well. So I do put a little bit of thought into my talks beforehand. And I know I'm missing something else about the show that I wanted to bring. Oh, the auction. The auction the next day was really nice. There was a lot of donated goods, a lot of plants. So a lot of people were getting a lot of really good deals there. I didn't really see anything that was new that I wanted. However, I did figure out what one of my plants were, thanks to their local plant nerd, Chris. And then it was also in the auction. So I took a picture of it so I would remember forever and not have to worry about what kind of Rotala incarnata that I have. So.
And then, did you see Scuba Steve said so cute? Not
Yeah,
you, Grant.
I saw that.
Oh, okay. Did you see Geek Boy? Did they serve shrimp cocktail with the food?
No, they didn't. Surprisingly, the barbecue chicken was really good. Shelby didn't get any of that. The rest of the meal was kind of plain hotel food, not like hotel 5-star restaurant food. I'm talking like, I don't know, hospital food.
It was hospital food, that's for sure. That's
Yeah.
the exact green beans I got. From
The chicken was good. The chicken was nice.
It's all right. I've never had bread that tasted weird. I don't know how anyone is eating that. Mike said, "What's something you learned about discus?"
A lot of the peppering has to do with both genetics. It was only one type of discus, so you could get like the heckler eye, and they don't really have any issues with that peppering. Was it the pigeon's blood ones, or I can't remember what variety of discus have the peppering or whatever. And then like the water change care and feeding and stuff like that. Just finding out Chris's routine and how somebody else does it. He was definitely using way more filtration than I think I was using on any of my tanks. Also, we have like the black substrate where they might have looked a little bit better. This was like the crappy discus. I'm not talking about Dr. Anthony's discus, but the ones that were showing a lot of peppering might have looked a little bit better on white substrates. We definitely should have cranked up the heater maybe a little bit higher. Definitely for smaller discus, you want to crank up that heat to 85 to 90 degrees. It gets their metabolism cranked up so that way they can grow and get to that max size a little bit quicker. And then doing all the water changes, I kind of already knew this. But like what I kind of took about this talk that I need to transfer onto the shrimp world is I think a lot of our success with breeding and producing as much numbers as we are with the 10-gallon tanks is the large water changes that we're doing, because the shrimp are releasing hormones. If you think about it, that's what's making all the males dance. So if your shrimp are dancing and you can't find any pregnant females, maybe because she released all the hormones and now she's stressed out and she's no longer ready to reproduce. And a good water change, hormones might not be in the water anymore. Not all the males are going as crazy, and they might not be stressing out the one female that's producing all this hormone. So definitely in breeding situations and tanks and stuff like that, you want to do your water changes to get out stuff that you're not testing for, like hormones. Anybody got a hormone reader? No?
Usually just when the men are dancing. Should shrimp dance. That's what we should do, is a video of all the male shrimp dancing to the temporary music that I was telling you about. That'd be funny.
I've got the Galaxy Pinto in Jaden's tank. It looks like he's dancing.
Zach said, is there anything you could change with your IBC tote setup, or do you believe y'all have everything all rock solid and honed in perfectly? I assume you're happy with everything.
I mean, a water change system where I can drain them out a little bit better is definitely ideal. I would like to figure out something like a cap or something that I could silicone over the actual drain that's built into the IBC tote that could actually be used for the water changes. Right now, I'm not using those. I've got them all turned and facing me, so if I could ever figure something out, but it needs to be like far off of the actual valve, because if you put it like at the end of the thing where you turn it off, all the shrimp get like pressed onto the screen, and that's not going to go very well with so many pounds of water pressure going through. So it's definitely got to be like far enough out of that pressure hole to stop the siphon. Did that make sense at all?
Yeah, I was just reading. Stephen P. said, I wonder if hormones can affect redox potential. I need to get a ORP meter. I wonder.
I don't even know. I don't know. This is a Stephen P thing. I think only him and like
stuff.
2 other people
We need to know.
in chat. Geek Boy maybe knows, and I don't know.
So Johnny
Dr.
said,
Anthony.
Johnny said, my tap water in New York is so soft, it's like RO, GH of 4, KH is 1, pH is 6.5. Can I still use my shrimp GH salt for my water change?
If you have a KH of 1, I would not use that water for your Caridina shrimp. I would be okay with using it maybe for some tigers, but chances are your tap water is going to vary throughout the year, and it's not going to always be like that. And 1 KH is already too high. So I would definitely use an RO buddy or something like that to strip out that water. And then if your pH is like that at 6.4, why don't you try oh my God, I'm sorry. Why don't you try adding some oxygen in there and gassing off some of the carbon dioxide and seeing what your pH actually is?
I think everyone but Jaden has gotten hiccups today. Me and Jaden. You guys are crazy.
She had them for so long today.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Thank you so much, Johnny, for the $2 super chat. And then, so Geek Boy didn't know. I said, already sounding like a salty gadget nerd, Steven. And he laughed. And then he goes, oxygen redox potential. It's so funny. So you called it out. That one, no. That's so funny.
Still don't know what it is.
Yeah. We were just going to pretend we knew what they were talking about, okay? That's what we were supposed to do. And then Google it later.
Yeah. So, on the way home from the auction itself, man, what did they use? There's a program that they were using that our club does not use. I think the Lancaster Aquarium Society was using it.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to Ryan.
I had already told you we were supposed to be using it.
I know, but I like seeing what other clubs use, and they were able to run through the show pretty well. So I never sent it to Ryan either. Man, I failed.
I mean, I could just ask Scotty, you know. Toy, and Jenna said, of course, Geek knows all the salty tills. Toy said, I have well water. My KH is 0 and my GH is 9. pH stabilizes around 6.4. However, the TDS is near 300. My Caridina live fine in it, but never breed.
Yeah, you've got your pH is a little bit too high. So if you don't have some type of aqua soil in there as well, then you're gonna have to go ahead and add some of that to get the pH down lower. If you already do have aqua soil, then maybe your aqua soil is just absorbing some of the KH that is coming out of your well water. But pretty much most of the United States well water is going to have some type of carbon in it. So I would be worried that your pH stabilizing around 6.4 is the reason why your Caridinas are not breeding. Yeah, they can live in it, but they need that lower pH to get things going for baby survival rate to be up. If you do have aqua soil and your KH is 0, absolute 0 out of the well, maybe you could cut it with like 1/3 RO water, so that way you get your TDS down just a little bit, and it can make molting a little bit easier for your shrimp.
Yeah, since I also have them in tanks with aqua soil and RO salty shrimp. And still no breeding is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, how often are you doing water changes then?
The ones in my well water are just pulls and cleanup crews for my other tanks. Geek Boy said my group auctions. Is that it?
Yeah.
Stephen
That's what they're
P.
using.
Coming in with the knowledge. And so dissolved organics are reducers, which means they affect the level of dissolved oxygen possible in your water. The organics can't be measured as TDS, but it's just one more reason to do water changes. That's still a lot to take in, Stephen. You're like, yes, that didn't make sense. I'm just kidding. They breed fine in that. So they breed fine in the aqua soil and the salty shrimp.
Yeah, I just assume that there is just too much minerals and in your well water that they're not
tigers
liking.
in that. You'll probably
Yeah.
do better with
Tangerines.
tigers, calcios, raccoon tigers would probably do good in those, and stardust. There's a few different options you can do in that tank. Those parameters, they seem to like more minerals in their water, but that lower pH, but don't need necessarily the 6.0 pH, where like the tangerines can take up almost to a neutral pH.
Oh, I like Geek Boy's answer. The more dead stuff in the tank, the less oxygen in the water. It makes a lot of sense, honestly.
That's so funny. You guys should do like a live stream together where Stephen P sits there and says something very, very good, and then Geek Boy just
translates it.
Yeah. So in translation, that would be so good.
And then I can even take it a step further after
so our
Geek Boy.
layman's terms. So cavemen. I love, like, it's just like the guy from The Office. Less words do better. Tollsby said, my 10,000 year orange lily project is doing great in my well water.
Yeah, honestly, that kind of tells me then there's probably some KH in the water.
Yucky make water bad. That's too good. Oh, goodness gracious.
No, yucky water. Fish can't breathe.
Fish can't breathe. Someone should so do like a caveman aquatics. I think there is a person named Caveman Aquatics. But they should be a live
like
stream.
He isn't like that. He's
would be
very
funny. I know, that's what I'm saying, but it would be funny if he just acted like that for a live stream.
You should have two personalities. One where it's actually Cav, and then the other one where it's like he acts like a caveman.
We do water changes today.
Yeah.
Water out, good. That'd be funny. Welcome in, Zen. Johnny said, with my water so soft, no minerals, it's not suitable for Neocaridina shrimps.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's suitable for Caridina shrimp either. You're kind of like right in the middle of not good enough for either of them, if that makes any sense. You're too hard for Caridina and too soft for Neocaridina. So you can add the GHKH into the water for Neocaridina if you want to do that. I would, if I could say one thing about this year of shrimp keeping, the importance of stable pH and baby survival rate across the board of all shrimp is very important. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with Neos, Caridina, Sulase, they all need very stable pH for high baby survival rate. So if you're breeding Neocaridina and you're throwing them in fluval substrate, eventually the tap water that you're giving them will have enough KH that it's going to exert and exhaust the pH buffering capability of the soil, and it's going to stabilize out to a point where the baby survival rate's going to go up and you're going to end up with breeding. But right off the rip, the fluctuation of the pH is going to be crazy back and forth for your first set of couple water changes. So you can cap it off and you get less fluctuation. You could do higher KH. There's a lot of different things, but using your water with 1 KH in inert substrate, it just isn't enough for a stable pH for a good, stable breeding colony of Neocaridina. But it's too high for Caridina.
Zen says, finally made it here. Hope we all, especially the new baby, are doing wonderfully. Yes.
What'd you do with the baby?
Just
Right.
throw her to the side. She's actually like heating me up, so
I'll take her. Today's my day off, so I said I'm taking her for the day. And then earlier I was like, "Are you done feeding the baby?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, been done." And I'm like, "What? I don't want to hear that. I want you to let me know when you're done. She's mine for the day." And then Layla comes in and she's like, "She's not yours, she's mine." And I'm like, "All right, I'll share her. You want to play with the baby?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You played hot potato, right?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm just kidding."
That was way too loud. Don't do that.
I'm making electric shock, baby.
Stephen B said, I got the Stardust and the KH of 6, GH of 4, and CO2 injected like crazy. Doing okay so far. Stardust are really hardy, so I'm very happy to hear that. I just want to hear when they start breeding really good. So
Yeah, in my experience, the distilled or the water softener systems where your KH is higher than your GH, the shrimp don't do too well, but they are Stardust, and I did say put them through the ultimate ringer, and so far good looks. You're doing great.
Richard said, I found the more water changes, the more my shrimp breed.
Yeah.
Seems to, just like Corey's, like when you get them going on that colder water change, they just breed like crazy. Stephen P said, how do y'all measure pH at home? Strip,
Shelby.
Liquid, or meter? Yeah, Grant's method is Shelby.
Shelby! Test
Shelby
this tank
uses
right here.
liquid. I don't like the meters because they'll work for a little bit, but a lot of pH ones are a little expensive, and then to recalibrate them and everything
it's like to keep them calibrated and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe if I worked at a pet store where they had one going already, and I'm like comfortable with the brand and how to do it and stuff like that, I would. Like once upon a time, I was thinking about like just working at Worldwide Corals for a couple of weeks as like an apprentice, just so I could learn the proper way to take care of.
By that he means
saltwater tanks.
There.
No, I didn't. It was not you. And yeah, I didn't want to go down that road.
But yeah, I would use liquid. I always make sure that it's not expired. I prefer the API a lot. It's just easy and readily available for you. The Sarah test kit is a little bit more accurate. I've tried about every test kit.
Hold on.
right now.
It's not a little more accurate. It's more accurate because it does the test at 10
Larger volumes of water.
milliliters instead of
Right,
5
which would make
milliliters.
it more
You could
accurate.
easily, though, use a higher dose and get the same accuracy with API. You can't say
But
that
you
once, but you could.
But no one's going to.
But not more accurate. You could just get it to a more down to a half a degree instead of a full degree.
Says the person who never tests anything.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it from him. Neither do you guys. But the the liquid is much better. The strips I found those were a waste of money. They weren't pretty accurate. Like sometimes they are, but sometimes they could be bad. I know a lot of people do have issues with the liquid. I would say that I had multiple test kits give me different readings for different tanks for the same exact tank. So that was a little uneasy on that. So there is a couple test kits that I did not like because they did not make any sense. They weren't lining up with either API or Sarah, which were coming really close to each other. And then the other one was like way off. So, and it was a brand new kit, brand new open everything. So I'm doing the right way. But, and then, yeah, like the meters, we use the TDS meter because it's like $12 off of Amazon and just reorder it. But I just haven't found a pH meter that's worth it. Stephen P says, I can certainly add more GH. I had just never had a reason to in some tanks. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't add any GH until you have like some molting issues. If you do have molting issues, if there's never any molting issues, there's no real reason to add it.
Johnny said, I saw Papa Shrimp did a content with a box filter where he filled it with a fluval stratum and acts as a under gravel filter.
Yeah, I've seen like the results from using under gravel filters and the box filters and stuff like this. I'm not a big fan of replacing substrates and messing with that. I'd much rather just do 3 inches of substrate and then a sponge filter and not have to mess with anything for 3 to 5 years or longer even. Anybody that uses their filters like that, they're replacing the filters and not the filters themselves, but the boxes of substrate. So every year they're replacing that substrate, and that's expensive. And I think that the tank goes in surges because of that. And I prefer constant, steady breeding all year round. And I'm not going to be trying that method anytime soon. It just sounds like a lot more money, a lot more work for not a bigger result.
Stephen P says, yeah, you got to keep the probe hydrated 24/7. Meters are annoying.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. When I do see that at the store, that's how they have them. Their meters are in like a fluid. It's really weird. Trey said, super happy you guys got through Milton. Okay. Thank you. Tolstoy said, if you need to measure a pH below 6, you're kind of forced to use a meter. Yeah.
The Sarah, though, does go to 5.
5.
So that is one of the ways it could be more accurate. Okay, you got me. You got me,
But
Shelby.
out of the box, API only comes with 5 milliliters. It doesn't come
know.
with a 10 millimeters. So it's just annoying to say that it's more accurate when you'd have to go buy something else
But you
to
can
make it more
I'm
accurate.
thinking it could be more accurate down to like the getting it 6 compared to 5 on the accuracy. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Where all right.
Johnny said, can I top off with distilled water to keep KH down?
I mean, the KH won't go down. You're just kind of like keeping it where it's at.
And Stephen P says, none of the pH tests are accurate, but it's more about monitoring changes than getting exact numbers. I literally said gridding. That's so funny. But yeah, I've noticed that a lot, and it's crazy how we'll have like 5 tanks in a row, all same substrate, all set up at the same time, same light, everything. Same sponge filter, nothing's different. And this tank hasn't cycled, but these two have, then the next one hasn't cycled properly. It's insane. Trey said, wait, hold up. That's a baby. Congratulations. So happy for you, though. Thank you. You've been missing for a little bit. Yeah. She looks so fake, though. With her little legs. She stretches her legs out so far. It's so funny. Johnny said, the tangerine tigers I ordered back when only one survived from heat today is getting bigger. Tangerine are really hardy. Yeah. See, we had a couple survive in the garage that is really hot, and I still can't believe they can survive that. But
I'm determined to breed like a hot temperature tangerine tiger though out in the garage out of those tanks, and then we will have the ultimate Caridina shrimp.
Craig said Aqua 1 pH pen. I'll look that up. SC Caterpillar says there's also a salt creep on the pH pen too with that solution.
Yeah. And then we also were able to hang out with SC Catalula. That's who how did I forget SC Catalula? So him and his daughter Bristol were at the Northern Carolina show, the Aquatic Expo, and his daughter and Layla kind of really hit it off. They have very similar personalities. A lot of times, new friends will get into arguments and disputes, but they were just like on the same wavelength through the entire show. And then they've been talking to each other on Messenger. And so we kind of planned this whole trip out with Layla so she can hang out with Bristol. So it was cool that we were able to stay the extra day. She got to hang out with Bristol. We wanted to hang out for longer, but I started to look at how long it was going to take us to get home. Usually that trip should only take us about 8 to 9 hours, and it was an 11-hour trip home because of all the bad traffic. So we kind of had to head out of there. But yeah, she really enjoyed getting to see her friend, and it's cool that she has a friend, I don't know, 600, 800 miles away.
Yeah.
And they can keep in touch, and they enjoy the hobby together. So it's a lot of fun.
And we told them that, well, you guys will get to see each other, next year really pretty early because one of the shows is in the Carolinas or up there. And they were like,
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months.
You know how long that is for us kids?
And I was like, well, not that long when you guys live this far apart, though. Like, that's not that far. But Johnny Best, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Stephen P. says, a salt creep is supposed to happen, apparently creates a protective crust on the probe. Okay. I don't know anything. Nancy B. says, wait, whoa, when was Grant allowed to hold the baby? Like, never. Not allowed.
Listen.
He does have to fight me for the baby constantly.
For these last 3 weeks, if I want the baby is mine. No friction or anything like that, because they know I'm having to travel and I haven't been around as much as I'd like, but she has been a little angel, so I have gotten my time with her each day that I've been here.
His little angel, I love to mess with them because there's a lot of memes that are like that where the husband answers when someone asks, like, how's the baby doing? And the husband always goes, oh, they're sleeping through the night really good. And then the mom's over there just like with bags under her eyes, like, yeah, okay, like up every hour or 3 hours. I'm like, you keep telling everyone she's doing really good, but she is not up. She's not sleeping through the night. She is a great baby though. She just has her days and nights confused, so it's a little rougher in the night, but like you expect that with a newborn, it's okay. But I just think it's so funny that he's just like, yeah, she's doing good. I'm exhausted. Craig said great, and Shelby's booth looked great, and all of the other booths. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, he did a really good job on the booth at Keystone Clash.
I didn't have a lot of room at the Carolina Aquatic Workshop. It was just a smaller event, but I knew that our main reason was just there to help out and spread the shrimp hobby knowledge and stuff like that. And if anybody is in the Carolina area, it should be like next April that they're going to be hosting the event again. So I really want to get more entries for the contest. You're not going to have to compete against me and Shelby. I'm sure Shelby's going to help judge as well. So we'll be looking forward to that event next year. But I'll have a more advanced shrimp talk also. So even if you watch a lot of our live streams, I'm going to make sure there's something in that talk that maybe you didn't pick up on one of my live streams, or maybe I haven't mentioned it before, but I want some good, definite, advanced shrimp keeping knowledge to be part of that one.
Tolstoy said the baby was always my wife's, except when it pooped. Then it was all mine. Funny how that works.
I did change 3 poopy diapers today.
Oh wow. He's so impressed.
I did put my foot down on the last one though. I was like, Shelby, you said I don't have to change 1 today, and I've already done 3. I'm passing this one to you.
I never hand off the baby when she's got a dirty diaper. I always clean her, but that's funny. Jenna said Grant was even nice enough to hammer exactly on beat to the song in Steven's video. I know, I gotta watch that. I haven't been on YouTube at all.
Wait, there's a video?
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Oh man,
They were talking about how they got a good video of you smashing rocks.
Oh, I gotta go check it out. If somebody could send me the link, that would be ideal. But
Steven said, I'll never enter another shrimp show. Was it rigged?
no. I thought you said Stephen P. It's Scuba Steve.
Johnny said, we men and fathers shy away from diaper changing. We automatic. Yep.
I don't shy away from it. I do believe I had something else I had to get done at that time too, and I was like, Shelby, you got to change this one. Don't give me that look. You're making it seem like I don't do anything.
Scuba said, I'm teasing. You're distracted.
Yeah, I'm distracted. I don't have anything else to really talk about.
She is distracted. She's wiggling all around right now. Dead asleep. She's gonna be another one that's gonna kick you. It was so funny with Layla. I'm wide awake because the baby, of course, in the middle of the night is up. You know, contrary to Grant's belief. But she just picks up her leg, like full up, and just hammers onto Grant. And I just hear Grant go, what the? And pushes her, and she does it again. And she's just like, like she's offended that he's not okay with her kicking him full. Like, I mean, I've never seen someone straight just hammer a leg down. She is so funny. And Layla's not little anymore. She is big and getting bigger, and she's strong. So Stephen P says, just a small clip of Grant hammering in the video I uploaded tonight. I'm going to have to watch it.
And I don't feel so bad for missing it if you just uploaded it tonight.
Yeah, he's usually on top of some of the videos on YouTube. I'm like never on YouTube anymore. Like,
no, I was
at once time. But
I have a couple videos I need to go and watch. Skipper did the unboxing video of the Crips.
Already?
I haven't seen that one yet.
I always expect people to take like forever because we take forever to get videos out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'll just see it when I see it. It's funny that one time we went viewing. I don't know. We went to look for someone else's unboxing video and found someone else unboxing our stuff that like just ordered off our website. And we're like, okay, we'll watch this. And it was just so funny because they just kept unwrapping the newspaper and they're like, oh, I'm almost to it. And we're like, you're not even halfway to it. And it was just so funny to watch. And I'm like, man, they probably have never seen one of our unboxing videos.
Do we have enough newspaper for tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Johnny said, Caridina shrimps don't require any calcium for molting, unlike Neo, do they?
No, they do. Absolutely,
They
do.
need it in their diet is
Yeah.
the most important part. So that's why we feed the shrimp envy shell, and then we feed the mineral junkie, and then we'll calcium chips from Crayfish Empire. We like to use those for the snails the most, but they definitely need that for their molting. You keep stealing her back.
I know. You're distracting me with her over there. So, vibes with the $5 super chat.
I thought you were gonna read it.
No, you read
so
it.
Much vibes. It's the most wonderful time of the year with Shelby and Grant live streaming and everyone telling you Aquashella is coming. Clash was long, long ago.
Well, someone's a little upset they missed the Clash. It's okay. As long as we get to see you at Aquashella, that'll be a great trip, because not a lot of people make it over to the Daytona one that are part of the Fish Fam, and it's becoming less and less, it seems, every year. So definitely happy that that Vibes will be making an appearance to Aquashella Daytona. I knew it was gonna come. I knew I'd be able to hold her, and then she just stick out her legs. And like, I'm not even holding her legs up. This is just how she does it.
She's so funny. I can't.
You wrap her up like a burrito, and like she's even more ridiculous with it. She just
Maybe
kicks
she is
and
gonna be a
kicks
little ballerina
until she's out of the diaper. So
she's so
not the diaper, the burrito, the blanket.
Don't curse me with that. I'm not ready. Like, I was just thinking about it with like when they start grabbing and you're like moving too much when you're trying to change a diper. I'm not ready for that stage.
Oh, she put him down, but she wasn't like angled like that either. She just likes her feet being straight up in the air.
Jason says, "Don't know if it's just me, but Mineral Junkie low key smells like cookie dough." That doesn't smell like cookie dough, but it smells like celery and
it
like
smells like celery to me. Somebody else said it smelled like something at the Carolina Aquatic Experience too.
Yeah,
or
it's got a good
workshop.
smell to it. Like I actually enjoy it. That Grant makes fun of me and thinks that I want to eat it or something and try it. I just think it
she's
smells
a rabbit.
good.
She be eating just raw vegetables all the time with no seasoning, no dressing, no dipping sauce, no caramel, no peanut butter, nothing.
Yeah,
just
I do
straight,
eat peanut butter. Yeah,
straight
but I think it's
celery
weird on my
sometimes.
apples. I like crackers with peanut butter, but yeah, it's okay to eat just celery. It's all right. It's not a problem.
Go back, give it a good old sniff, and tell me it doesn't smell like celery now.
Johnny said, I learned a lesson to never disturb my aqua soil in the shrimp tank whenever I plant a stem and disturb substrate of shrimp dies. Yeah, it's not good. It's not fun. Since that she's stretching, she's been burritoed up so long. Yeah, so he likes to burrito. I let her kick her legs loose. My mom was like not okay with it. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm letting her stretch out. She's strong. She's a lanky baby. She needs to stretch out." So easy. Those are some swimmer legs for sure. Let's hope she wants to swim too. Is she making grunting noise?
No, she's just so peaceful, and I can't really get that on film when I lift her up. But when she's laying down, she's a little angel.
Geek said, "Grant making fun of people is not nice. You shouldn't do that." Celery is never okay. How could you say that? I love celery so much. It is so good.
Celery
So
is
good.
great with some peanut butter, some ranch, and some buffalo
I'll
wings.
occasionally put salt on it, or like dip it in a Bloody Mary mix. That is good, but like I don't make those anymore. So, but those are good. Johnny said, "Can I feed shrimp green leaf vegetables besides pellets?"
Yeah, you can. There's just, you kind of want to rinse them off, make sure there's no pesticides or anything on them.
Since celery is a negative.
Celery from
It's a
celery ginger.
It's a negative calorie food. There's so little nutritional value that it takes more calories to chew it than it gives you. Hey, it's still really good though. I enjoy it. I must be like the only weirdo that enjoys celery.
Go on a
it's
celery
not
and,
worth it for me,
and
so.
pineapple diet.
See, I just, you know what's funny is I was always hungry as a kid, and like that's why I eat a lot of vegetables. Like I was just finding stuff in the fridge. My mom always kept vegetables in stock, so like tomatoes, celery, lettuce, it was always in the fridge. She probably hated me though. Like she'd probably be like, "Where did my tomato go that I needed for tacos?" and had to go back to the store. And never told me about it, but man, I always ate vegetables.
Do you ever think the cleanest your feet were before you started walking?
Yes, that's the exact thought I had when I had my first baby. I was like, man, their feet are so nice. Like, then we walk and then they're just destroyed. The baby is so funny. Chicken wings. Celery drowned in peanut butter is acceptable. And ants on a log. No. No.
Is that where you put like raisins on them?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll pass on the raisins.
Yeah. I feel like there's someone else that puts like chocolate chips on theirs, but that would also be
Like
weird.
chocolate chips.
Oh my gosh,
I'll
please
try
don't
it.
ever no. Don't you I don't want to ever catch you doing that. Since we have to take a knife and dehair it and it needs ranch. See, Grant thought it was the freakiest thing the first time he saw me eating a salad with no dressing. Like I just eat them all individually. They're all great. We're eating cucumbers, everything. I don't know. They all got their own flavor to them. Really, celery was just a vehicle to shovel ranch dip into my face. She's gonna rip that cord out. The baby grunt. A Hershey kiss on top with the peanut butter. His grandmother makes the holiday cookies. The little peanut butters cookies with the Hershey's. I swear I make myself sick every year. It's my reward for making the pavlova that she makes those, that I get a couple of them. I'm like, all right, it's worth it. Johnny says, they say baby food is the healthiest food. Maybe.
I mean, baby food should be the healthiest food.
Yeah. There's some that definitely aren't. If you can make your own, that's the best. Just grinding it up. No salt and sugar in it. Zach says shrimp incomplete smells like raisins to me.
I think I can agree with that. I think
I need to smell
go grab
it again.
some.
Okay. Little witch hat cookies. Yum. Yes. That's exactly what I want.
And Nancy B says she thought she was the only one that ate salads with no dressing. Yeah, Shelby's a rabbit though, so you might want to look into. You might actually be a rabbit yourself. You see celery with cream cheese when I was a kid, and Oscar.
Oh yeah.
Only
cream
Oscar
cheese.
just said that
Yes.
also. Which
Yeah, that was
cold
so
cheese
good.
is a no-go for me.
Yeah, Grant would never like that.
Unless it's doused in sugar.
I did crave that one day and went and got that. This pregnancy was weird. I was craving a lot of my childhood things that I ate, so I thought that was weird. And she's a lot like me, so she might just be more like me. Stop.
I thought maybe
Her
it would
head's
look like
smaller than the mic.
she was singing the mic, doing something with the
You're
mic.
right.
Ba,
It
ba,
does smell
ba,
like-
ba. Oh, nope.
You're a mess. It does smell like raisins.
She's moving her head way too much already.
I know. It's actually a trend on TikTok that like 2024 babies are kind of crazy.
Raisins, dried prunes. What's the ingredients?
Not that. Yeah, celery and cream cheese was definitely a big hit. I know that a lot of people have been putting everything bagel seasoning on it too. Yeah, Stephen P. Y'all nasty. That was the best. The more important test is to see how each one taste. No, I don't remember who it is that actually has tasted them, but no, more for me. Shrimp envy on a log. Stop it. That's too much. I just can't. It is weird. So, like, that's why I do tend to go to shrimp envy foods a little bit more than other foods because I do like the smell of them. So, they're not overwhelming. We have had other foods that make our house smell really bad. The shrimp really like them. Don't get me wrong. They absolutely pass the shrimp test.
But it smells like vomit.
Yeah.
Bad vomit.
Yeah, not good at all. No way you guys tested Rapashi on a stream and I missed it. No. That stuff stinks. That stuff's really bad. Is it really bad? I have to know. And SC Caterpillar says the complete smells like chew, so I get the raisin smell. Yeah. Taste test food, fish food live. Yeah. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
When was that?
Did he do? I'm gonna have to go find all those
Bug
videos.
Pro?
Oh,
because Bug Pro's the one we really want to know.
That smells like
Is it
steak
the best
seasoning.
tasting one?
I don't think it would be the best tasting one. I feel like it would just be like a strong taste. Like
I think the mineral junkie would be too chalky.
I don't think it would. Honestly, I feel like
think
it's
the Bug
so
Pro
smushy that it wouldn't be chalky.
With a good cut of steak would really taste nice.
This stream has gone off the rails here.
Now at Global last year, the year before, one of the booths was selling this superworm butter. Now let me tell you, it smelled so sweet, it smelled so good. If they didn't tell me it was superworms and it had a fresh loaf of bread right there, I probably would have ate it on the spot. And they told me the only ingredient in it was superworm. So still waiting to see that on the market, but yeah, it's coming, people. Are we gonna do the baby pass? You want the baby? No, too bad. My baby. My baby.
Not as a test, as a punishment for losing a challenge. If it were a test, they all fail. That's gross.
What was the challenge? What'd you lose?
Oh man.
Oh, I guess you have to watch the video.
I'm never doing a punishment. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch it. Oh man, I couldn't do that. Will it help you quit chewing? Could you imagine if someone used that shrimp food as a who knows? Someone's got to try it. Everyone knows the rules. 1 bite challenge, aquarium food edition. Oh my god. No. I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. I think I would be throwing up by the first food.
Or have like a challenge where there's like 6 of them. And if you guess it right, you don't have to move on. But if you don't, you have to keep eating it until you get them all right.
So does Rico do any of the fish foods or is it just regular food?
I think it's just regular food.
Could you imagine just sending him a box of fish foods and he's like, what's this for? It just says taste test.
I'm not the person to do this. I don't have the stomach. Joshua would be great for that.
Yeah, we had a friend Josh who had a stomach of a rock. It was like,
everybody's got that one friend where you're at the lunch table at the end of the day and everybody takes their unused condiments and leftover applesauce and everything and just put it into one milk container and then pass it to a kid to drink it. That was Josh.
I don't know how that man survived. He went to the military. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Nothing's gonna break that kid. And Johnny said, so Steven said old streams close to 3 years ago. We're gonna find him. Johnny said, what RO filter do you suggest I should get to install?
So you have really soft water, but not soft enough. You can get away with an RO buddy that wouldn't be that expensive. I would also look into just a cheap 5-stage RO unit off of eBay. Aqua FX is the company that Aqua Shella uses, and they take care of us for their the shrimp contest, and their filters come out really nice. We currently have a BRS unit. They are a little bit expensive, but They do pretty much donate to just about every single one of the fish show conventions that we go to. So I do like to support people who like to support the hobby. So any of those units would be great.
And then it is installing an RO filter. Is it safe for drinking water?
No, it is not, because it strips out all the minerals that you would need to replenish in your water, and you're probably not getting that through the diet and what you're eating. So, yeah, definitely don't want to do that. There are units that you can install for that, but they more just strip out the chlorine. They don't strip out all the minerals.
Geek Boy said just human food, unfortunately, and Zen said, Rico said it must be eligible food for humans, but otherwise he's game for whatever. Hasn't he? Has he tried that stinky fish? What is that stinky fish? Can't remember, but it's like the world's worst.
It's like a can of sardines or something like that. I think
Yeah,
I think it did something like that.
I think I missed it. Okay, Razorback said, are those good for chloramine? The RO unit.
Yeah. If you do chloramines, you want to get a DI system.
Most modern pet foods are made at human food grade quality because people do people-y things.
Yeah, when we were at Super Zoo, the guy at Ultra Shrimp Foods definitely ate the food right in front of me.
Thank you, Geek Boy. Yes, VRS is bulk resupply. Yeah, with the exploding can. Oh man, yes. Did he like it though? Yes, that's what it is. I remember seeing some when Rico started doing that stuff. This is the one thing that started coming up on my page because of talking about it around my phone, and I was like, no, this is it. Does anyone know if he liked it or not? I could not imagine. He must have a strong stomach because I could not try or do any of this. It would be such a disappointment to send me things because I would just be like, yeah, no, that's gross. That's gross. No, I'm not trying it. Like, there's no way. She's going to eat that head right back. You're not my mommy.
She prefers to be held horizontally.
So do you use DI stages in your RO units? If so, how much resin do you go through with all those tanks and water changes?
So one resin tank usually lasts me around an entire year without having to replace it, as long as the membrane and everything like that is frequently changed as well. This last 2 months, I went through an entire unit though, so I don't know if that was because they were cleaning filters or doing something out of the norm. Maybe my county ran out of water, or they changed something else up. So I'm definitely going to have to look into. But that was only a single unit, and I was running a double unit before. So, but the single unit still worked for the whole first year. Without giving me any issues. When I replaced it, only lasted 2 months. So I already got to replace it again.
Jason said, here in Asia, a lot of breeders have started to keep Sulawesi shrimp without the Sulawesi minerals. It's been pretty successful with the easy ones like the white socks and blue legs. That's pretty cool.
I wonder if they're still keeping them in warmer water, though.
Yeah, I want to know what parameters they have though too, because like obviously they might have certain minerals in their water that we don't have here. We'd still have to do Sulawesi minerals
because our tap water is very similar to the water that we mix up for the Sulawesi shrimp, and we tried to switch them over to tap water, and they didn't like that. But I also did them at room temperature. So
Johnny said, the RO buddies as different stages. What is your preference?
You definitely want to get a 4-stage or more. All right. With the holiday today and everybody being patient, anybody that places an order tonight and it goes out tomorrow will receive one of the sampler packs. We've got a show this weekend. If anybody is going to be in Columbia, South Carolina, and you want me to bring something that I don't normally bring to the shows, make sure your pre-order is in by tomorrow night, so that way we can take care of that. If anybody is waiting on any of the giveaways or anything like that, and you didn't email us, that might be why you haven't received it yet. I know, like Easy Rider, we didn't ship out your tank because of the whole airports being closed down. I didn't want it to get stuck underneath a bunch of other packages piled up at one of the distribution hubs. So yeah, it's boxed up, it's labeled, and it'll be going out with tomorrow's orders also. So thank you everyone for being patient. Thank you everyone for your support. Hopefully next week we can do a shrimp contest live stream and get that all squared away and settled too. So
Jason said it's definitely warmer water, but I've been breed the White Sox successfully with water parameters of 120 TDS and 7.2 pH. It's pretty low pH.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That's awesome.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you guys in the next one.
Thank you. You guys have a wonderful night, and thanks for all the super chats.